What's up, guys? Welcome to Bullish Bets. On this channel, we cover all things related to stocks and investing. We take a look at news where we can place some potential big bets with huge upsides. In this video, we're going to dive in and talk about SKT, Tanger Factory Outlet Centers. Before we get started, keep in mind that we're not financial advisors, and this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Make sure you do your own research before making any investment decisions. So let's get started. So Tanger Factory Outlet Centers was recently experiencing a short squeeze. The price of Tanger went from around $15.50 to a high of $20.63, and this happened within a 2-day period. Now, this is a short squeeze as there's a huge short float for SKT. Now, however, the short squeeze was short-lived as the price shot back down to around $16.50, and it stayed at that point where it couldn't really break the resistance. So you're probably thinking, is the short squeeze over? Can I still get in and make a profit out of it? Well, before we get into that, let's talk about Tanger's business model. What kind of business is it? So Tanger is a real estate investment trust that focuses on outlet malls, where they are potential landlords of brands and manufacturers that sell clothing in outlets. Based off what I'm telling you right now, this is a horrible business model during the COVID time because everything got shut down. But Tanger was targeted by short sellers before that, as it's very similar to GameStop, Macy's, Michaels. The short seller thesis is that retail is dead in the age of e-commerce, and it's been shorted before the COVID times, and it was falling. If we take a look at the financials of SKT, we can tell that in 2017 to 2019 end of the year, it stayed relatively the same, but the net income grew. It grew from around 68 million to 87 million. But if we go back to the stock price and look at 2017 to end of year 2019, the price of Tanger fell. So in end of year 2017, the price was around $25.18, and end of year 2019, beginning of 2020, it's around $14, and that means the price dropped by 30% already, and that means the short sellers are already attacking it, even though the financials were strong. And with the catalyst of COVID, Tanger got shorted to oblivion. With the negative net income in the end of year 2020, right when COVID hit, the price of Tanger went to $5. That's about 25% of what it was worth in 2017. And a lot of theses, made strong claims, that outlets are gonna die if COVID doesn't open. But in the year 2021 right now, everything is opening back up, and the short sellers, thesis was wrong. COVID is not going to last as long as we expected. Tanger is going to be able to get more tenants, and they'll be able to charge rent on these tenants, and their net income and revenue are going to grow on that basis. That being said, the fundamentals are strong. Even though e-commerce is going to take over one day, that's not going to happen until 20, 30 years. And these short sellers are over-timing these companies going BK. So let's look at the short interest of Tanger. So we look at the short interest of Tanger, we could tell that throughout 2020, the short interest was pretty high, relatively high in terms of the fact that it was over 50% throughout the year until around January 15th, 2021. and this is mainly due to the fact that there was a short squeeze happening then already. It jumped from $10 to $16 within a 15-day period, and this is around when the GameStop short squeezed. So it was a sympathy in terms of short squeeze happening, and it also has to do with the fact that funds didn't want to make themselves vulnerable to a potential short squeeze, like Melvin Capital with exponential losses and losses that can go to infinity. To reduce the risk, they lowered their short position, and the price stayed relatively the same, around $15, but with a 30% short interest, it's still fairly high. And today is when we experience a small short squeeze that scared some of the short sellers. And to be honest with you, looking at this graph with short interest versus stock price, it's showing that Tanger short interest is decreasing with the stock price increase, but the short interest isn't down all the way yet. So there's potential for it to go to the $20 range, $30 range, and to be honest, the $20 range is fairly low, and it still has a lot more room to grow. And this is based off the fact of the information I have now, that they have a 30% short float. I'm not sure how much of the short float was closed, the short interest were closed in March 4th, 2021, but based off this graph, it still seems like Tanger has a chance to push up even more. So let's look at the GME squeeze just for a reference. It shows that the GME short interest around 68.4, 58.8, and it didn't shoot up until a little later on, when it dropped to 16.5. Given the fact that these numbers might be wrong and funds might be misleading a lot of retail investors, the short squeeze didn't happen until the short interest was fairly low. So based off this information right here, I feel like there's, in my honest opinion, there's still room for a short squeeze to happen. But that being said, there's a lot of short squeeze plays right now that are happening, where short interest is fairly high and there's some room for growth. So you got to pick and choose your poison and which one you want to play. But based off this basic research, it seems like there's still room for Tanger to grow, and it might be a good play. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Do you think it's worth giving Tanger a try, or do you guys think you guys should stick with GameStop and hold it until it goes to $1,000, potentially $10,000? So that's it for today. So if you liked our content, please subscribe and give us a thumbs up. We would really appreciate it. It helps with the mysterious YouTube algorithm, and it potentially can help us reach more people and see videos like ours, and gives us a little more incentive to continue to spend more time to give you good content and give you good research based off what we see. Again, thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.